12 years ago, some Swedish dudes dropped this game called Bloo Kid. And it was awesome. It was pretty much everything I want in a platformer. I don't know how they did this. The Swedish game dev industry was booming. And you know what else was booming? You wanna know what else was booming? Yeah, so even though this game is dead today, I still think it holds up quite well in today's video game economy, especially on mobile, where most of the games suck anyways. This is how Bloo Kid defined my childhood. Alright, so let's start from the beginning. I got into the game around 2016 because my older brother put me on that. I was around 8 and he was around like 9 or 10. A little bit more adventurous than I was at the time. When I first started playing it, I was 8. My fine motor skills and my fingers weren't so developed. The biggest issue was I didn't have a good grasp on how video games worked. It was one of my first games I ever played, and it, along with Minecraft, introduced me to what video games were as a whole. Yeah, it was a very defining experience in a very literal way. And the soundtrack, I just can't stop talking about the soundtrack. It was a banger. Every song was a banger. The music is what I want in that genre of like 8-bit chiptune music. It was refreshingly simple, in my opinion. That might be biased, but who knows. Very frustrating actually at times. Like the developer put little funny monsters in funny places that did funny things and set me back to the start of the level, and I just had to redo it over again. There were no checkpoints. In fact, this is some ball knowledge. The DS version of the game had checkpoints. Who would have thought? That's even more dead than the actual, because the DS itself is dead. Anyways, a little tangent. It was very frustrating. Had a little learning curve and a little story to it. It was a journey. Speaking of the story is so simple that it's actually laughable. That really only serves to give the character a reason to run to the right. But I think it's really genuine compared to having like a simple story just for the sake of having a story instead of it kind of being funny. Like they kind of play into it's kind of comical and very simple. And I like that. It is what it is, I don't know if that made any sense. Honestly, I'm biased. I don't know who actually likes this game, or if it's just nostalgia that's driving me to make a tribute to this game. But in my opinion, it's what a mobile game should have stayed, or at least like branched off of that concept. It's not perfect, and it could be better and all that, but I think the fundamental concept of what a mobile game is shifted from that seemingly genuine area kind of into like just money grabbing, and it doesn't feel like innovation. Instead of branching off of the tree, they just planted a new tree, and the tree is like a less healthy version of the other one. You know what I'm saying? I think you know what I'm saying. It's also a PC game too. I didn't know that until I started making this video and doing research. But at the same time, I'm surprised it survived on the App Store this long. For what it is, it's awesome. But I must say, I still play this game when I have zero Wi-Fi on a plane. So it's still fun to revisit every few months. And somehow I haven't gotten tired of the soundtrack. I just gotta mention again. Sorry.